wanna know his secret?
What is up, guys? Create here. Welcome to the video, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do sort of like a DIY sort of thing. So I'm gonna show you guys how to make a chaosxsilencer type animation. So I stumbled upon one of his videos, not really stumbled upon, more like it was shoved down my throat, but I saw it and I like this animation here, so I'm gonna mute this real quick. And as you can see, he's talking about the gameplay or whatnot, and then this animation comes out of nowhere. Bam! It smacks you in the face, gives you some information about the channel and whatnot, and then it should disappear right there. So I thought that was a very cool animation, and I want to show you guys how you can take something from a YouTuber that you like to watch. I'm not really saying or advocating that you should just steal people's graphics and stuff, but you can work off of this and make it your own. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, as you can see here, it comes out like so, and what we're gonna do is we're going to basically just rip this off from this video and drag it into Photoshop and then edit it and make it our own. So I'm really just gonna show you how to take something that you see in a video, and this can work for any video, and you can just take the idea that's on the video and make it your own basically. So what we're gonna do here, I'm using Windows. If you have a Mac, I don't know if there's a equivalent to this snipping tool. The snipping tool basically freezes the screen, and it allows you to select an area, and that area can then be used to make a picture. So it's like a screenshot, but like the area that you select is up to you. Going to back it up, let it play, and then go to start and just click on the snipping tool right about bam right there. And so now I can easily just select that like so, bam, and then just file, save as, save it to your desktop, call it ducks, I don't know, anything that you want. And now that we're done with that, we can exit out of the video, or actually don't, because we're gonna animate this as well. So don't exit out of it. If you exited out of it, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But additionally, there's a thunderstorm going on in the background, so if you hear thunderbolts and it just happens to hit my house and I die, then you know, whatever, you know, do it for the fans. So we're gonna file, open, new, and we're going to do a let's just do 1280 by 720 to make a 720p canvas. And we're obviously not gonna fill this up all the way, but you know, whatever. Oh, don't do that. Go to file, place, and we're gonna place that screenshot on the canvas ducks, and we're gonna make it a little bit bigger like that, not too big. Well, actually, here's the deal with this. If you record in 720p, then do 1280 by 720. But if you record in 1080p, I would go for the 1920 by 1080 canvas. So if you're, you know, it just kind of depends. But there's nothing bad in, you know, stretching it out. So let's start by doing this. So we're gonna make a brand new layer, and we're going to grab our pen tool, and we're going to zoom in a little bit, not too much, a little bit, and we're gonna hit Control R, and we're doing this live, so bear with me. I'm gonna drag this down, and then that looks just about right, and then I'm gonna drag this over here so I know the animation is there, like right there, and then I'm gonna zoom out. And then now I can do this. So what I'm seeing here is that instead of using the pen tool, I can use the polygonal lasso tool, and that will allow me to make straight lines like that, and like that. Just kind of match that up, just like that. And so what we're gonna do now is we're going to get the blue, and you can actually rip off the blue if you want, or you can do a red. And we're gonna hit control backspace, and that actually did the wrong thing. Switch the palettes, control backspace. Now it's red. And we're going to hit control D to deselect, and now we're going to turn this off for a second. And as you can see, this is kind of a gradient from light blue to like a darker blue. So we're gonna turn this back on, and we're going to double click, do gradient overlay, and then we're gonna do a red, like a kind of like a light red, light red, and a dark red. So like that. And now what we're gonna do is change this to radial, and we're gonna enlarge the scale of the radial, turn the angle slightly, well, not slightly, but you know what I mean. So let me real quick make this a little bit bigger, not too big. Make this a little bit bigger, change the angle. Okay, so this isn't really working the way I thought, so let's do angle. See what that looks like. Reflector doesn't look that bad either. Reflect, ooh. That looks pretty good. So do reflected, and then just play around with the angle. 173 worked for me, and that's pretty good as for that. And now we're gonna turn this off again, take a look at it again, so you can see there's diamonds in the background. So if we go to Google and we Google diamond texture Photoshop, it comes up with all these textures that you can use. And so the one that resembles this diamond pattern here is this one, to be honest. So I'm gonna use this for this example. You can obviously choose whichever one you feel fits it the best, or if you don't really want diamond, you can go for a hexagonal or just whatever you want. This is the point where you can add what you want, but I'm gonna try to copy this to the bone so you can see how it works. So we're gonna do file, place, and then we're gonna find the diamonds, and they're right there. Hit place, and we want to shrink it, and then we want to shrink it like that. Bam, hit enter. Double click, color overlay, go black. Oh, what the go black. Okay, and turn this off for a second, and as you can see, the diamonds are right here. So we're gonna control T, do that, and kind of get that angle like that. Control J, and then same thing, just kind of mirror what's going on there. Control J, mirror what's going on here like that. Control J, mirror what's going on down here like that. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to select all these diamonds and hit and right click, and we're going to convert into a smart object. So now this is one whole object. Now we're gonna hit the eraser tool, and it's gonna ask you if you want to back out. Now this is a non-reversible thing, so you want to hit Control J, and you want to have a backup just in case you mess up. So you want to grab, click on the one you're going to edit. You're going to go over to the brush size. This is fine. Lower the hardness to 0, and then just zoom out a little bit, and then kind of just erase like that, and then like that, and then you want to grab this selection tool, the marquee, and it should just snap into place. And then you want to go back to the eraser tool, crank up the hardness so it can completely get rid of those parts. Hit the selection thing, Control D, deselect, and now you have this pattern here to which you can turn this back on and do a overlay just like that, and you can lower the intensity of it and just play around with the mix thing, the whatchamacallit, what's it called, this thing over here, and just kind of pick something. Let's see, they're all basically the same, so I'm just gonna do overlay, and then I'm going to lower the opacity down to 35, and then that looks pretty good. Get the eraser tool once again. I'm gonna just do, oh crap, no, turn down the hardness once again, and I'm just going to touch this up like so. Zoom out a little bit, just touch it up, touch it up, touch it up, and then we're doing pretty good. Now we're gonna do the let's see, we can delete this because we got that out of the way. What we're gonna do now is we're going to select these two and right click and convert to smart object. Now it's a whole object. Now we can do Control T and drag this a little bit more down to the floor, drag this out a little bit more like that, just like that, bam, hit enter, and now we can insert the grenade. So we're gonna go to Google, get that grenade vector. That's exactly what I put, grenade vector. Vector basically just means it's like made in Photoshop and whatnot, and it looks pretty good, so that is good. We're going to file, place, and Granada, where you at, bro? Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna hit that, make it smaller, and then turn this off for a second, or hit enter to get rid of that, and turn off the layer for a second, go back to the grenade, Control T, and just kind of place it where this is, like that, just like that, boom. And then you can put that there, and then if you turn that off, that's what that looks like so far. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Now we're going to add the text, and if we look back to the text, it is just plain white text with a small drop shadow, and then that in the middle. I don't know if you want to use that, or if you do, or if you don't, but it's just a matter of strokes and gradients. So again, turn that back on, new layer, hit T for the text tool, and just click there, and then just let's see, use code, and select all. Now this is built titling font. If you want to get this, go to dafont.com. So dafont.com. It's called built titling, so type in built titling, and it's right there. Download it, install it. You should know how to download and install things. If you don't, there's a video in the description down below. Now once you get that, you want to go to the character thing, and I messed up my thing, so I'm just gonna change it back to 0. This is the spacing in between the letters, so again 0 on that. As for everything else, I think everything else is perfectly fine. We want to make the text smaller, and if we must, we can go back to this text over here, hit T, select everything, and just make it the exact size as this, like that, until it fits. So that fits pretty well, and so we're going to turn this back on. I'm gonna move this like over here, right there, and then hit Control J for duplication. We put this in the middle. Dickhead. Use code dickhead for 20% off dildos. And you can go like that, and then you want to Control J again, like that, and then what does that say? 25% off. Okay, so Let's do 76, 79, 70, 70, 70, 76. What's a random percentage? 88% off. Yeah, that's a random ass number. 88% off, like that. And you want the spacing to be proportional. So as you can see, it's like from like right there to right there. So you want this to be from right there to right there. So you can click on 88, and using the arrow tools you can precisely move it pixel by pixel until you get roughly the same size. Now you can't see this, but I'm putting both my index finger and my middle finger in between the words code and dickhead, and 2 fingers fit perfectly, and I'm just going to adjust until the text hits 2 fingers. Bam, zoom out, perfect. And now the only thing we're missing now is to add the scuff thing. So make a new layer, file, place, and it doesn't have to be scuff. I mean, if you're sponsored by anything else, this will work as well. We want to move this down here, Control T, rotate this hoe, make it smaller. Ooh, not like that. Hold Shift, make it smaller like that, and just kind of put it like so. Make it kind of bigger like that. No. Hit enter. If we turn this off, actually, the red, we can kind of see where this is supposed to be. So it's like right there. Turn the red thing back on, and now what you can do is double click this color overlay and make it white like that. Hit OK, and once again grab the rectangular marquee tool, make a marquee right there, hit E, click, erase that part because we don't need it, Control D, and now we can zoom in a little bit, and as you can see we have this part over here that is not doing so hot, and we are going to delete that. So we're gonna get the eraser tool, make the eraser smaller, and make it harder. And if you're wondering how I'm doing this, if you hold Alt and you right click, you can move from left to right for size, up and down for hardness, and so just kind of make that like that. I'm gonna hit this and then hold Shift, and it should just cut like that. So bam, bam, that's pretty good. And then we're going to zoom out just a little bit, and we're going to move this thing like that. We're going to see if we got it. Yep, we got it pretty good. We're gonna zoom out. Now if we turn off the duck layer and we open up a new layer, we go to Google, we go to one of these and type in, I don't know, Rust MW2 1080p images, and then we wait for this to load. We can get that, right click, save as, oh, wrong one, oopsies. You weren't supposed to see that. There it is. There we go, place. And now look how that looks. Doesn't that look professional? Doesn't that look professional? So now we're going to select all of these, and you can make them into one composition by right clicking convert to smart objects, but we kind of don't want to do that because what if we want to change the text? So just double click, drop shadow, and hit OK. Drop shadow. You don't want to drop a shadow for this one. For this one you want to put a stroke. You want to exaggerate the stroke like that, and you can change the color of the stroke to white, and then we're going to do gradient overlay for the text, and we're going to do the old-fashioned T. Martin type font like that, and then boom, and then stroke, let's change that to black actually, or I don't know what to choose. It's doing orange, no, like that. I don't like none of this. That's pretty good right there. That's a good color. It looks pretty good with that. And then that is pretty much it. If we bring up the duck layer again, or actually let's select everything that we have so far except the duck layer and put it in a whole different folder by like that. Get all this, drag it into that one folder, minimize the folder. Now we can turn off all that. As you can see, the scuff thing actually had a drop down shadow, so we're gonna add that. Double click, drop down shadow, add it in the other direction, so the angle must be changed. We're just going to increase this number until we get the desired effect. And as you can see in the preview, it'll show you exactly what it's doing. And so let's just wait until we get the right angle. No, I want it this way, this way, this way, this way. Yeah, that's a pretty good shadow. And then turn down the opacity just a tad, so it's like a shadow, not really like a stroke. And then one more thing, go to the grenade, double click that, add a stroke. I forgot to add a stroke to that. And you can make it white if you'd like that. I think it looks pretty good in white. And then add a satin, lower it like that. Oh, the satin contour. You know what? Fuck the satin. That's it. That's pretty much it. That is exactly what it looks like in the thing. And I think I did a pretty good job at replicating this. And so now what we can do is we can turn off this max, whatever that is, turn off the background. And now you have a solid animated banner thing, and you can file save as PNG, so that way this transparent background stays with it. And then you can name it, I don't know, whistling birds, ducks, whistling ducks. Okay. And then once it's saved, you can see it right here. You can double click on that and see how it turned out. It turned out pretty good. Now, as far as editing goes, we're going to quickly open up Sony Vegas, and we're going to import one of my videos that I've been making on my separate channel. If you haven't known already, I have this this gym thing, and actually, let's do it over my skit. I have this skit that I made. It's called Soccer Star. I'm gonna upload it to this channel just for fun, and you guys can see that later. But now you can see, like right there, I don't know, file, place, import the banner. Come on! Oh my God, computer! There we go. Here it is, whistling ducks. Open that, drag it down there, and there it is. Use code dickhead for whatever. Go to a point in time, so go to the beginning of that. Here's where the animation should begin, but we want it to show up like around maybe right here as he starts talking, right? And that's where we want the animation to actually come out and animate out. So we're going to go to the crop and pan. We're going to add a keyframe bob, and we're going to go in front, keyframe, go back, and then move this like that, so it's going off camera. So that way, right there, it's like that. Bam! So now when it comes back like that. And I don't know if that's pretty fast or not, so I'm gonna just bring it back for like 1 second. And so then it should be like this. And then just extend this like that. Get out of the way. Like that. Extend it so that way it's just lingering there for a while, and then you don't want it to be there for a whole long time because it looks like you're selling out. Then you go over here. Is that here? I think it's here. Add another keyframe, and then once again bring it back out of sight like that. So then it's like this. It's like it's here and it's gone. And we want to grab these two and extend them like that. And bam. And it disappears like that. So it's that easy, guys. So let's take a look at it. Right there. Let me turn this down, because that's what's having trouble. So, but it's still having trouble. I want this to play nicely. How about that? Oh my god.
Alright,
that's a little bit better. Ta-da! Okay, so everything's working well. One thing, I might want to just grab this end of the keyframe and bring it closer to that. Bring that a little bit closer, because I want the animation to be an animation. You know, an animation is fast, and you know it happens fast. So do that, and then it should just come out like that, blam, and it should leave blam like that. And that's it, guys. That is pretty much it. Why I always have to burp, man? I always burp in the end of videos or something. It fucking annoys me. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like down below, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Leave a comment if you have any questions. I feel like I kind of rushed through it, but it's a pretty long video. I'd hate to make it like 30 minutes long, but it might be that. So thank you guys for watching. Peace out.